guys! Today I'm having one of the most requested videos that I've had this entire summer, and that would be a question and answer kind of video on sorority rush or sorority life. So basically I'm going to be answering a bunch of questions that you guys have tweeted me using the hashtag #AskSarahBelle, and I'm going to try my best to answer them and kind of talk about anything and everything about sorority life, I guess. I don't know, because in case you didn't know, your girl right here, Kappa Delta. The last time I ever even filmed a video all about sorority recruitment or like anything of that nature was all the way back in the beginning of my sophomore year. So I'm gonna be a senior, pretty crazy. So it was 2 years ago, and so I figured it's probably time for a new one and just to like kind of refresh and just talk about my experiences throughout my 3 years, I guess. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just go ahead and start talking about sororities. Let's get down to business. So the first question hasn't really been asked, but I figured I should probably talk about it before I even like jump into this questions and stuff, and that is, what is a sorority? A sorority is basically a group of sisters that come together to make themselves a better person than how they were when they entered the sorority. I know it sounds really weird and it's kind of hard to explain, but it's basically everyone has the same, goal, and just they share the same morals in a way, and they share the same philanthropy, which is the organization that your sorority will work towards to help better. And it just basically makes you a more rounded person because you learn so much about yourself. You learn so much about, being a better friend, being a sister. As you grow up throughout your 4 years of college, you grow stronger with your sisters, and you just see you see the seniors graduate, and then you see like the new babies or the new members come in, and it's just a really exciting thing. It's an amazing part of college, and it's definitely something that I would recommend if your university offers it. Also, something about a sorority is there is, I think, like 20 something sororities underneath a Panhellenic Council, which is the organization that looks over all the different sororities. And so basically when you're joining a sorority, you're joining either one of the 26, because this is about Panhellenic sororities, and there's also like other sororities and fraternities and stuff that you can join, but that's a whole different story. And another question that I didn't really get asked a lot, what is recruitment? Because most of the people know that I'm doing a video on recruitment, but I figured once again I should establish that. Recruitment is essentially a week-long weekend process P&Ms, which is potential new members, go through, and it's basically for you to get to know the chapters and for the chapters on your campus to get to know you. And it's just like a process that you have to go through in order to find the house that is best for you, which is the exciting thing. I loved going through sorority recruitment because it's just so much fun. Every single day you visit less sororities, and so you may start off with 13 sororities on the first day, and then by the end of the week for preference round you will only be visiting 2 to 3, and from that you'll kind of help make your decision on what sorority you would like to join and if they would like you to join too, which is really exciting. Something to keep in mind is it is a mutual selection process, so that sounds really scary because you're like, oh my god, will they want me too? But if you're yourself, my guess is they will want you to, because it's about where you feel comfortable, and that's the most important thing for when joining a sorority, because you don't want to join a sorority for the wrong reasons. So that's basically what the recruitment process is going to help you do. During the recruitment process, you are assigned a Gamma Chi or a Rho Gamma. She's going to act as your mentor, but she is actually already in a sorority, but she disaffiliated from her sorority for recruitment time to help find the place where they belong and answer any questions along the way. They're there to help you, they're there to guide you, and they're not going to force you to join any sorority. They're unbiased, and I think that's an amazing thing. I loved my Gamma Chi when I went through recruitment, and it was really funny because she ended up being my sister, so that's really cool. Going through sorority recruitment gives you the opportunity to find out about everything that you ever wanted to know about any sorority that is on your campus, and whether you can balance it, see how much time it requires you to put into the GPA, what each sorority wants from you, as weird as that sounds. As I previously stated, each day is a different day, and it narrows it down every single day. And so the first day that you start off with is open house. Open house is when you go and visit every single sorority. Sounds a little overwhelming, but The parties are usually shorter and the conversations are more of like, hey, like what's your name? Like what is your major? What do you like to do? And then on the second day, it really depends on your campus on how many days your recruitment process is. Ours is only 4 days, but I know a lot of campuses like in the SEC are like an entire week. This can either be skit day or sisterhood day or something like that, and you learn more about like the fun stuff you do, and it's more of like goofy, and you once again are learning more about the sororities, but you're visiting less houses. And as you continue on throughout the week, it gets more fancy attire wise. And then the second day for me, but I know a lot of third days are at other campuses, is philanthropy day, and that's when you learn about the sorority's philanthropy. The philanthropy for my sorority, which is Kappa Delta, is Girl Scouts of America, which is so fun to work with, and Prevent Child Abuse America. We also work a lot with the Confidence Coalition. During this day, you learn everything that you probably have ever wanted to know about any philanthropy, and if you don't even know what a philanthropy is, don't worry about it. They're going to explain it to you plenty. The last round in sorority recruitment is preference round. Preference round is my personal favorite round, and even when I was going through recruitment, it was my favorite round then, because I don't know, it's just exciting because you're down to like the nitty gritty, the 2 or 3 hopefully houses that you had wanted to visit. In preference round, you really get a glimpse into their sisterhood, and I feel like the tables have turned a little bit because it's now like based upon you, like which sorority do you want, if that makes sense. And then the exciting day after that is bid day. The best way to describe bid day for coming from a sorority girl is it's like Christmas, but like better, because you're getting a bunch of new sisters, you're meeting all the girls in your sorority, you get to open your bid, obviously, you find out, yay, and run out, you meet everyone, it's so exciting. And yeah, so that is bid day. I hope that was like helpful. I'm going to answer some of your questions. Okay, so the first question is it difficult to keep your grades up while still participating in all the sorority events? Personally, I did not find that this is an issue. Essentially, when you join a sorority, you have mandatory events and then you have like optional, I guess, kind of events, and these might be like mixers or just like fun events. Usually the mandatory ones are your chapter meetings and also your philanthropies, which aren't as frequent, but meetings are usually once a week. And personally for me, I did not find that it was hard to balance like my schoolwork with my sorority life. You just have to remember to say no, like if you want to go to like a fun mixer, but you know, you have a lot of homework, you know, you can sit out that mixer. It's not going to be the end of the world. There will be other mixers with other fraternities and stuff, so yeah. The next question is, was there any crazy hazing when you were rushed? To answer your question, no, there is no hazing. It's kind of a misconception when it comes to sororities because it's definitely stereotyped upon us that like we haze our new members, and that's basically making them do like stupid to dangerous stuff to be in the sisterhood before initiation, and that is not sorority life at all. National Panhellenic Council looks over all sororities and even on your campus to make sure that there is no hazing, and I can speak on behalf of Kappa Delta and also my Greek life campus that there is no hazing whatsoever, and all my friends that are in sororities in the SEC have said the exact same. So no, there is no hazing, and thank God there's not, because why would you want to join a sorority that hazes? That's stupid. The next question is, was Kappa Delta the obvious choice for you from the beginning, or did you have a harder time choosing? Before I went into recruitment, we have these things called orientation tailgates, and I remember like seeing all the different sororities at these orientation tailgate things, and I saw Kappa Delta and I was just like, oh my gosh, these girls are so beautiful. I was really shy, I wouldn't go up to them, but I was like, I'm gonna sign up for sorority recruitment. I would research all the different sororities and fun stuff like that, so I would go into it with an open mind. But the moment I walked into Kappa Delta the first day, which was actually my first party, I knew right then and there that I wanted to be a Kappa Delta, and thankfully they wanted me to be a Kappa Delta too, and I'm so happy with my choice. I've never regretted it at all, and I can't imagine ever saying I would, because it's just an amazing experience. I've met my best friends through it, and it's just perfect. I love it. The next question is, what did you wear on each of these days? And as I said previously, every single day it gets more and more like dressier, I would have to say. Like it will go from, you know, shorts and maybe like a required t-shirt that they give you on the beginning of recruitment for open house. And then the next day it's like, you know, shorts and a nice shirt. And then the next day it's like business attire. And then the next day for preference round, it's like a cocktail dress. There's two things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to this though. The first is that before recruitment, you'll probably meet up with your Gamma Chi or your Rho Gamma, and she's gonna tell you basically like the guidelines on what to wear each day, because each day has like a certain attire. Wear what makes you feel beautiful, and that's something extremely important to remember. And then the second tip that I have for you, when you're going through sorority recruitment, you're dressing not for a bunch of boys, so like don't have your booty hanging out or your boobs just like exposed to the world. Like, we don't really want to see that because we're girls, we have them. And so just remember that. Just try to dress however you please, but also, you know, appropriately to the guidelines, if that makes sense. Be an individual. The next question is an amazing question, and it says, how has joining a sorority helped you in everyday life? I know this is gonna sound really weird, but especially going through like the recruitment process and also recruiting new members, is that like the conversation skills that you learn going through like recruitment, you know, you can hold a conversation with like a lot of people, and it's just really useful to have, especially in like the workforce. That sounds really, really weird. But along with that, I also learned a lot about being a good big sister, about being a good sister in general. I have two littles, and they are like the best things in my life. I don't really know, like I've learned so much that it's hard to like put a thumbnail. True life, I'm a YouTuber. It's hard to put like a spot on like what exactly I've learned, but it's just indescribable. I've grown so much because of it, and I've become much more of a confident person because of my sorority, so I don't know. That's kind of like everything possible in an answer. The next question is, what's the best experience and your favorite memory you've had since joining Greek life? So the great thing about Greek life is that when you're joining a sorority, you're not only joining the sorority, you're also joining all of Greek life, because you're meeting so many different people that are in other different social organizations and sororities and fraternities and stuff like that. And you know, you have mixers with them, which is just like little mini parties or like events that you go to, and they're really, really fun. You have formals and stuff like that. It's just really a great like opportunity to meet people, and I love meeting new people, and so that was something really fun for me, especially my first 2 years of joining a sorority, because I, you know, didn't really know everyone, but now that I'm a senior, holy cow, in my sorority, I literally know majority of Greek life, and I think it's really amazing because we're all just kind of like friends with each other, so that is like super awesome. I've met my best guy friends because of Greek life, and I'm living with some of them, which is crazy. It's just something that I would hope that everybody would want to be a part of. And when people say they're paying for their friends, my favorite memory from joining Greek life probably was the day I found out that I got my two littles. It was love at first sight. They're both my twins. It's kind of scary to have two little friends, two little babies. They're just perfect, and any moment that I get to spend with them is awesome. So I love my littles, so if you guys are watching this. So those are the questions that I received, and now on to the tips I have. Some tips that I have for going through the sorority recruitment or sorority life or anything like that is, the first tip is to be happy and just be happy to be there. Those girls love their sorority for a specific reason, and they're just so happy to be showing like and telling you about their sorority. So just be respectful. That's something really, really important. You know, later on down the road, you're gonna probably be friends with someone in that sorority, or you know, you're gonna cross that person on campus, and it's just be respectful. I mean, that's just a tip for everyday life too, but another tip I have is, don't be afraid to ask questions or, you know, engage in conversation. It's kind of hard sometimes because you might be a little bit nervous, but I can guarantee you the girls that are recruiting you are just as nervous. I still get like the butterflies whenever I'm recruiting people, because I'm like, what if like this happens? What if this happens? There's no such thing as the perfect sorority. Honestly, when it comes down to it, there is no such thing as a perfect sorority. It's all about the perfect sorority for you, and I think that sounds so cheesy now that I said it out loud, but it's true, honestly. Like, in the end, you're joining a sorority because you feel the most comfortable there, and you know, you just feel like instantly you belong there. That's why I joined Kappa Delta. I joined it because the girls just felt honestly like my sisters even before I was in the sorority. So yeah. Another tip I have is for when you're in your Gamma Chi or Rho Gamma group, befriend the girls that are in your group. It was just an amazing experience to see them go through it too with me, and it's like everybody's in the same positions. It's also important to have friends in other organizations. The next tip I have is to plan your outfits ahead of time. This one I can't stress enough because girls stress about their outfits so much, and if you're just waiting around for like the day of to pick out your outfit, my guess is you're gonna stress about it, because let's be honest, we're girls, we stress. And then this one is one that I thankfully, you know, lived by when I went through recruitment, and that is to not wear a new pair of heels, whether this be on like preference round or, you know, like you're gonna be walking between houses and standing and stuff like that for a really long time. And so either bring flats in between each and to put on in between each party, or just wear comfortable heels that are broken in or anything like that, because it's gonna be a long day. And last but not least, once again, I'm just gonna stress this again, to pick the sorority that feels the best for you. You might not get invited back to the sorority that you thought, you know, was your ultimate sorority, and it's just so crazy because literally everything happens for a reason. You know, it might have been your favorite sorority at the beginning of the week, but then once you get down to preference round, you realize like, wow, like this like all happened for a specific reason. Like the sorority that I'm standing in now feels like the one for me. So it's just hard to explain, but I don't know. You'll know when it's right. Go into it with an open mind. I can't stress this enough. You know, like just because someone that you know is in sorority, it's gonna be different across all different campuses. So I just think that's like super duper important to remember. So that wraps up my video on sorority recruitment. It was a very long video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Bye!